I think people are going to have to get a little bit more strategic about how they take those capital gains over time and potentially find different strategies to minimize the tax impact on those embedded gains that they have.
What's the number one secret to the definition or building a successful retirement?
I would say the first, setting up what your specific objective is. I think when a lot of people approach a financial advisor, a lot of times they're just thinking, I want the best investment return possible. But I think if you were to truly have somebody sit down and to try to say, let's think 15, 20 years in the future, how do you want your life to be? Like, what do you do on a daily basis? Where do you live? Who do you see? What do you do? Nobody's going to be talking about the balance of their investment account. So I think helping people reframe their focus and kind of figuring out how to get from today to that point that they envision in the future with some intention, I think that is kind of step one, kind of reframing the conversation away from short-term returns to what they want in the future.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? Setting clear, specific objectives, like how do you want your life to be? Who do you see, where do you see you being? Who do you see you being? What do you see yourself doing? All of those those key factors. And I think more and more people are looking for time, energy, stress, and location freedom, right? We're both in California. Right. You're in Santa Barbara, which is arguably one of the most expensive, not top 5 in the state of California, right? It's beautiful. It's an amazing area. It's one of a kind. I'm in Northern California, also very expensive as well. And you're seeing a lot of people who are looking for location freedom, time freedom, stress freedom, some tax, maybe a little more tax freedom, right? So what's been the biggest part of the definition of success for retirement as it pertains to some of these folks that you're seeing maybe downsizing or retiring, especially out of California? Any kind of trends or things that you're noticing?
So I think I'm going to answer a question slightly differently, but I think a trend that could be presenting themselves, particularly for real estate investors and kind of lending itself directly to your business, is, for a long period of time, a lot of people that are real estate investors have focused on building their portfolio and their net worth through continually deferring, their gains through 1031 exchanges into bigger and bigger properties. And I think with what we're seeing in DC right now, continually you're seeing real estate being one of the items that has gotten away without being attacked from a tax perspective, but constantly into the discussion. So I think coming up with strategies that go beyond just defer, then die and pass on all of that wealth to your heirs, I think people are going to have to get a little bit more strategic about how they take those capital gains over time and potentially find different strategies to minimize the tax impact on those embedded gains that they have.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, that's part of why the 1031 is under fire. I have heard that they have taken it appears they have taken it off of the chopping block. It's not finalized, but it was, there's a lot of talk about taking it away. But part of the challenge that I think the government sees with the 1031 exchange is exactly what you said. A lot of people, trade, defer, and then dying at a stepped-up basis. And the IRS, in some respects, feels they're not getting their tax, right? What's owed to them. And this opposite is when 2008 crash hit, right? We're going to tail this into the mortgage crisis, right? There was a lot of people, especially even in Sacramento. I was at Marcus Millichap having people buy and sell multifamily properties. And one in particular deal, the gentleman is in 2006-07. We told him, hey, we think something's going to change. We think it's a great time for you to get out of debt, to sell, to diversify. And he didn't do it. And he literally, $50 million worth of apartment complexes, he lost everything. He went bankrupt. And part of that was because he was 1031 exchanging and overpaying and chasing, and the music kind of stopped. And you look at that, and the government doesn't win, right? Because the thing goes to zero. Obviously, the person doesn't win there. And the biggest thing is they didn't have liquidity, diversification, and then the tax deferral. And that's part of what we provide here at Capital Gains Tax Solutions as an alternative to 1031 exchange. And we just helped another client for an 18-unit apartment complex sell. And it wasn't, for him, it was tax deferral, but it was also time and energy. Like he goes, Brett, I have $40 million worth of real estate, And he goes, most of them are free and clear, very low basis. I just have so much stuff that I'm dealing with the government and changing the laws and rent control and managing the managers. And it just never stops. He goes, if I can just sell, and he put it all into the stock market, and like, you guys just report and give me the, give me the income, and let's put it in a diversified liquid portfolio. He goes, to him, that was transformation, right? Now, does he have 95% of or 96% of his wealth in real estate still? Yeah. So he's not like he's walking away from all of it. But for that one property that was a super painful one, he moved it, right? And now he's probably going to move other ones along the way as well.